There is something undeniably captivating about a woman who is not an open book for everyone. She doesn't share her every thought, she doesn't share her every emotion, she keeps people guessing. And she gives people just enough information to get to know her, but not enough so they keep wanting to know more about her. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michaela and today I want to talk about 10 things that you should never share as a woman in order to stay mysterious. Let's get into this. The first thing is the reason why you left. If it's from a relationship, if it's a job, if it's a situation, you should never share why exactly you left. First of all, you don't owe anyone the full story, and second of all, the more information you give, the more people will start to talk and they will interpret their narrative about the situation, and you will hear at the end of the day a complete different story about you because you gave a bit too much information for other people to talk about. When I'm, for example, at an event and I have to go early, I'm not saying anything. I'm saying I have to go now and I don't need to justify. I don't need to say why. I don't need to explain. Even when people ask, I say, I just have to go. That's just it. There is no reason I have to give to anyone, and that's what makes you so captivating when you do that. If you think about in any of your friends group or maybe even in school or in any situation where there were a few people gathering together and one woman left without giving an explanation why she left, this makes her mysterious. People keep wondering what she's doing, why she's leaving early. It gives you a sense of priority, and other people will kind of put you on a pedestal and they give you actually free headspace in their head, which is great. People thinking and talking about you is a great thing. The same with a job, the same with a relationship or a friendship. Of course, when you are leaving a job, you need to tell your boss why you're leaving most of the time. But if you're talking about it to your friends, to even your family, to anyone, you don't need to explain why you left. And that's what makes people curious. People want to know, why did you leave? But if you are saying, I left because I didn't feel respected, or I left because I didn't feel good enough, whatever the reason actually was, you again give people a reason to put you kind of in a box and to make opinions about you. The more you explain, the easier it is for others to create their narratives in their favor. The next thing is what you do when nobody is watching. When nobody is watching, it's for a reason that nobody is watching. You do the hard work, you do the hustling, the late night shifts, the taking care of yourself, the endless long skincare, night care routine, whatever it is, when nobody is watching. If it's not helping them, if you do not want to give them a guide to do something better, do not share it. Always let your results speak. And when people see that you have achieved something, that you have changed, that you're looking differently, and they don't know what exactly you did, they are curious. Right now, for example, I have 30 million views on Instagram on a reel, and people are curious what I did. They don't know how many nights I was awake, how many hours I have worked for that, how many videos I have created, cutted. Nobody knows exactly what I did to make this happen, and now people are curious. They want to know, how did you do that? And if I'm gonna share it, then it's for the sake of making them learn from my mistakes and from my process. So if I'm sharing it, it has to be something beneficial for them. But I was not sharing anything before the result. I would never go to my friends before this happens, share on my story, I'm gonna make 30 million, I'm working every day super hard. It doesn't really create that curiosity if I'm oversharing already everything in the process. And I have a friend, she is sharing her every single step. And yeah, it's nice sometimes, but to be honest, if you really want to create that mystery around you, you really take away a big part of that by sharing your every move. The next thing is your past relationships, especially the bad moments. If you're meeting a new guy, if you're dating someone new and you had traumas in your past experiences, in your past relationships, do never share it with your new boyfriend, with your new date. Because by doing that, you are saying, this is what I allowed to myself. If someone was abusive to you, if someone manipulated you, if someone cheated on you in your past relationship, and you tell your new relationship, this happened to me and I forgive that person, or even if you say this happened to me and I left, your new boyfriend, your new man will think, this woman lets this thing happen to her. This woman lets a man in her life that treats her this way. She didn't even see the red flags before. She didn't even notice the behavior, the manipulation. That's what you're really telling that other person, that new boyfriend. So if you're talking about your past relationships, always make things up if it was not that good. Say that your past relationship was amazing, you got spoiled, you received the biggest love, you received all the cuddles, you received the nicest life, but you decided to cut this relationship, you decided to walk away because he didn't want to marry, or because you were aspiring different kind of lifestyles. You wanted to travel more, your ex-partner didn't want to travel. Honestly, sometimes just create stories in order to make you look better. Your new boyfriend will think, oh, I have to top this up. I have to be better than the ex. I have to do more in order to make her stay. The next thing is your deepest desires. The moment you reveal what you truly desire, you give away so much of your information, of yourself, where people can attack you, where people can try to project their fears onto you, where people can try to sabotage you and your path, unconsciously or consciously. I'm not saying everyone is mean, everyone wants something bad for you, but what I'm saying is that many people, they do not want to see you win unconsciously, because it reveals their biggest fears. When you have a friend and your friend feels uncomfortable in her life and she sees you winning over and over again, at some point she will want to sabotage you unconsciously. And honestly, I know people in my friend circle, we're not very close friends, but the ones who are secretly watching my story and seeing that I'm like having viral videos and making good money, they are not commenting on my reels, they are not commenting on my pictures, they are not liking them, because suddenly they see that I have so many views and maybe they feel some resentment, they do not think I deserve it. And yeah, that's just how humans are. When I have less views, when I had less followers, they were liking and commenting everything. But once you achieve something that your friends maybe want to achieve as well, they are getting jealous unconsciously or consciously. So the point is, never share your desires before you actually made it happen. If I would share before I want to have 30 million views, I probably would get comments from my friends, from people around me, that that's ridiculous, or I should make something different, and I need to do it in a different way, or whatever it is. Others will always project their fears onto you in order for you to not show them, hey, it's possible, I went through your fear and I made it happen, because that's uncomfortable. The next thing is, never share who you are studying. Many people are too busy to be seen by others that they would not take note on what the people around are doing and who the people around are. There is just so much information everyone is giving through speech, but there is so much more information that you know while observing and studying someone. So if you want to be a mysterious woman and you are in a group of people, do not just be loud, just overshare everything. Sit back, be quiet, and observe first of all. While observing, as I said, you will notice so many things, and you don't need to say or speak about what you have observed. You can just make a mental note in your head, and you will know, oh, okay, so this person right now got a bit defensive about a mistake she made. What you have as a conclusion here is that she is probably a person who cannot really take accountability, and that's a mental note that you can take. When you see in a group of your friends or in a group of people that someone is reacting really badly and jealousy out of the nowhere, then you will know who this person is and you have a mental note. You don't even need to talk about it anymore. And I can tell you one personal example. I was always going to play Mafia. It's a game with a lot of people and there are 20 people on a table. We're all playing. I was coming to this group as a new joiner and I just observed in the beginning. I was just observing how people are reacting, how they're saying hello to me, how they're welcoming me in the group. And I noticed there was one girl, she was super rude with her demeanor, with the way she was looking at me, the way she was talking to me. It was just in a very rude and unfriendly way, without even knowing me, without even knowing my name. And from that moment on, I knew already we're not gonna be friends. Like, I had my mental note that she is not a person where we are on the same level. We're not on the same vibration to get along well. So I just kept going to play Mafia in that game. I kept being there, and at the end it turned out that she and a few others, they were creating narratives about me because I didn't share enough. I didn't tell them what I work. I didn't tell them why my Instagram name is Flagita and not Michaela. I didn't tell them anything about my personal life, and they were talking, obviously. And with my mental note, of course, I knew already these people, they're not gonna talk something good when they're talking about someone else. The craziest stories came out, which these people kept talking about me and kept creating a narrative of what bad person I am. And that's a way you will always know people before their actions. I could be then super disappointed because I thought we are friends, I thought we are good, but no, I knew already what kind of people these were, and I knew already that something is going on because I took my mental note, because I was observing the whole group. So at the end, when someone thinks they are playing you because you read between the lines, you are already 2 steps ahead of them and you knew already before the whole thing came up. The next thing is never reveal your full extent of connections. In today's world, everywhere, I think it's so important to have the right connections. So when you share which connections you have, of course, people are going to plan their moves around you to get to that connections. Always keep them guessing, always make them believe whatever they want to believe, but do not share which exact connections you have and how far these connections go to. At the end, when you're oversharing, you're also overgiving, because when people know you have a connection to something they need, they're going to do everything and anything until they got that connection as well through you. And then they will leave you hanging like you were nothing good. It happens to so many people, it happened to me, so just do not share this information at all. And if you want to attract more people, just say you have more connections than you actually have. you will see how people are coming like flies to the light and wanting to connect with you, wanting to be with you, wanting to get some piece of your connections. The next and super important point is your weaknesses. Never ever share your weaknesses. And this is not about do not share your vulnerable side. No, this is about be careful with sharing your weaknesses. And especially the ones you're still fighting on. With giving away the information about your weaknesses, you are giving away power to other people, and they can use it to hurt you. They can use it to harm you in some way. And it's not about having no weaknesses. We all have weaknesses. But if you share it to some audience, if you share it to the wrong people especially, you can end up being really hurt. You can end up being super manipulated because you share too much. If you share, for example, that you are really afraid and hurt by abandonment, that you cannot do well when people leave you, believe me, some people will do exact that in order to hurt you, in order to get from you what they want. You always need to be prepared. You always need to know my weakness is my weakness and it should be always mine. It's not anything that you need to share to anyone. And I made this mistake so many times because I was really a girl who was oversharing her whole life, her everything. And I paid for that many, many times. One of my weakness a few years ago was that I always gave too much. I always did and gave way too much than what I got back. So I had a friend and I was giving her my all, my everything all the time. And one time we had a disagreement and I told her, listen, it hurts me because I am a person who always gives so much. So even if I need you, but you need me too, I would come to you and I would give you. I would overextend myself and that's why it hurts me so much. And after that, she kept doing that on purpose. Every time I needed something from her, she put herself in a position where suddenly she needed something from me and I came short at the end. She was never there for me. She never did anything what I needed. She was never available when I needed her over and over again. And she used this weakness to manipulate me and to get the most out of it for herself. Apart from that, these people are anyways not your friends and not good people to have them around. It's just important that you do not even let this happen. Protect yourself before you get into a situation that you will regret. The next thing is what you will tolerate. If you share what you will tolerate, guess what? People are going to test you. People are going to be like, I'm gonna try this out if you really do not tolerate this. If you really do not tolerate something, don't say it, just act on it. If you have a man and you tell him, next time you're coming late home without giving me notice, I'm not gonna cook. This guy is gonna try you. This guy is gonna see if you really do what you say. If you say, if you scream one time more at me, I'm gonna leave. This guy's gonna try your boundaries and is trying to see if you stick to your word. So better you just don't say anything, but you act on it. Next time he doesn't come home on time without telling you, you just do not have food prepared. Next time he's screaming at you, you are walking out the door, or if it's your door, tell him to get out of this door immediately. And that's the only way how you make clear what you will tolerate and what not. The next and the last thing is your financial situation. Honestly, do never ever share to anyone your financial situation. If it's good or bad, do not say anything about your finances. Your finances are your security if you have something, and your weakness if you don't have anything. So people are going to either use you to get something from you or use this information against you because they know you don't have anything, and they will use and manipulate that situation because they know you are stranded without them. So in whatever situation you are, do never share in which financial situation you are. At the end of the day, of course, you can share whatever you want. These are just tips what I experienced, and also from my friends I know it's better to never share them because you will protect yourself already from so many disappointments, and you will save yourself from so many things. I know it's nice to connect with people, to share a lot from yourself, but just be careful with what you share. This is not just about protecting yourself, but also about creating that mystery around you. Because if you're mysterious, people just want to know more about you. They want to get to know you. They want to know what this is that makes you mysterious, what this is that you do. And the other thing I mentioned earlier, it's great when people talk about you. If you give them already all information, there is less space for them to talk about you. But you want people to talk about you. If they talk good or bad, you want them to talk, because that's what makes you powerful. That's what makes you be present in anyone's lives. That's what makes you famous if you want to be famous, because there will be always those people who will hate you, and there will always those people who will love you. Anyways guys, I hope this could help. I hope you can take something from that video and create that mystery around you, and above all, protect you from people who want to harm you. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. Bye bye.